Come on. Go.
Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, total world victory of Hare Krishna. My name is Sitapati Danna.
My name is Danna Devi, and someone wants to come over too. The Gita class is this little man.
Balaji.
Balaji. Come, sit down here.
Hare Krishna. And this is Bhagavad-gita as it is. Bhagavad-gita, the Song of God, as it is, by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Chapter 5, Karma Yoga, Action and Krishna Consciousness. Text numero 2. No, number 3. Numero 3. Okay. Here we go. Ding. I'll switch to this view here. Here we go. 5.3. Jñeyaḥ nitya-sannyāsī yo na dveṣṭi na kāṅkṣati nirdvandvo hi mahā-bāho sukham bandhāt pramucyate. Jñeyaḥ
Should be known.
saha
He
nitya-sannyāsī
renouncer
yaha
who
na
never
dveṣṭi
abhors
na
nor
kāṅkṣati
desires,
nirdvandvaḥ
free from all dualities.
hi
Certainly.
mahā-bāho
Almighty Arm One,
sukham
happily
bandhāt
from bondage,
pramucyate.
completely liberated.
Translation.
Can we do it?
Yeah, you do it.
Okay, sure. One who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person, liberated from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated. Almighty Arm, Arjuna.
Purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. One who is fully in Krishna consciousness is always a renouncer because he feels neither hatred nor desire for the results of his actions. Such a renouncer, dedicated to the transcendental loving service of the Lord, is fully qualified in knowledge because he knows his constitutional position in his relationship with Kṛṣṇa. He knows fully well that Kṛṣṇa is the whole and that he is part and parcel of Kṛṣṇa. Such knowledge is perfect because it is qualitatively and quantitatively correct. The concept of oneness with Kṛṣṇa is incorrect because the part cannot be equal to the whole. Knowledge that one is one in quality yet different in quantity is correct transcendental knowledge, leading one to become full in himself, having nothing to aspire to nor lament over. There is no duality in his mind because whatever he does for Kṛṣṇa. Being thus freed from the platform of dualities, he is liberated even in this material world. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Unqualified oneness, yeah. Knowledge that one is one in quality, yet different in quantity. Tripura Swami, he said, at the same time, quantity is a quality. Isn't it? That's one quality is quantity. Okay, but let us go to the diffs. In chapter 5.
So should you say oneness in the sense of quality rather than quantity?
Well, that's what it's saying here.
No, this is like the concept of oneness with Kṛṣṇa is incorrect because the part cannot be equal to the whole. Knowledge that one is one in quality yet different in quantity.
That's why I said unqualified oneness. When it says the concept of oneness, it means the concept of unqualified oneness. Let's see if there's been a change in that part. No, there hasn't. No, yeah. Such a person liberated, it says free instead of liberated. The concept of oneness, it means like unqualified oneness.
In this sense, it's unqualified oneness.
Mhm.
But can you be oneness in the sense of like quality wise? Because
Well,
many people think like, oh yeah, God is, because you're part of parcel of Kṛṣṇa, you have the same qualities of Kṛṣṇa. Okay, yet you are God. Like, oh.
Yeah, well, that's what it's saying. It's saying the part cannot be equal to the whole.
But that's what they what they call these ones? This not atheistic, but the other ones, the impersonalist.
Mm-hmm.
They think that they are God because in quality they are like God, and quantity not.
Well, I mean, they're not wrong. It's an incomplete understanding.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things get harmonized or reconciled with that understanding. For example, the whole thing about like original sin and like, oh, how did we get into the material world goes away. Like because it's like, I'll just present it as it is. I am God who has expanded himself, herself, itself into many. The one became many in order to expand its enjoyment. So I am literally experiencing everything through all of these different variegated forms. And that's what Kṛṣṇa says. He says in the 15th chapter, 15th, Yoga of the Supreme Person, 14th, the Kshetra and the Kshetragya, somewhere around there. He says that there is a knower in every body. There is the field and there is the knower of the field.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you should know that I am the knower of all bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a knower inside your body that knows, the experience of being Danna. There's a knower inside my body that has the experience of being Sitapati, right? And then we say, and then there's the Paramatma, which is inside the heart, right? But the Paramatma and the Atma are two different aspects of the same thing. They're not two different things. In other words, there is an aspect of identity that is both you and me. The Supreme Brahman is experiencing through both of our bodies. Like this experience, like when you say, or if you look at this, who is having the experience of being Sitapati?
You? That's all?
Yeah, the Supreme Brahman is.
Yeah,
He's having the experience of being Sitapati. And who's having the experience of being Danna? The Supreme Brahman. The Supreme Brahman is having the experience of being everything, Balaji, everything. And that's why it says in the 18th chapter that knowledge by which one sees one undivided spiritual nature in all living beings is knowledge in the mode of goodness. The Supreme Absolute Truth is one without a second. I am the Supreme Brahman because there is nothing else. But who is speaking is an aspect of the Supreme Brahman that is an individuated consciousness, experiencing being this one individual. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, in a sense, you'd say that's the impersonal or the monistic side of the whole thing. Because there are the two aspects are there, the jiva and the paramatma aspect are both there. But they're not two different things. They're the same thing. They're just two different aspects of the same one non-dual advayam consciousness.
Okay.
But in this achintya bheda bheda tattva, it's the part and the whole. And so the example is given of the hand and the body. The hand is part of the body. It's meaningless to speak of them as being separate from each other unless it's like Night of the Living Dead, where or is it Evil Dead? where the hand gets chopped off and it runs after the guy and jumps up and tries to strangle him. Have you seen that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they cut off the hand because it goes crazy and it runs around like a spider. And it jumps up and then grabs him around his neck. Yeah. It's a comedy, that show, that movie. But yeah, the part and the whole. So the concept of oneness with Kṛṣṇa the idea that, the limited aspect of expression of Sitapati is Kṛṣṇa is incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
But that the Supreme Brahman, like, Lord Vishnu, who's the source of all living entities, living beings, and is all-pervading, Lord Vishnu is the super soul. Shiradakshay Vishnu is Paramatma. So you could say it like this: Vishnu is me, but I am not Vishnu. In other words, it's the material world starring Vishnu as Sitapati, starring Vishnu as Danna Devi. Like literally all of the actors on the stage are all being played by Vishnu.
Yeah, in that way, yeah, I can understand.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that Sitapati is Vishnu. It's not starring Sitapati as Vishnu. It's Vishnu as Sitapati. And it's a small piece of, it's a small Shakti of Vishnu's, like, not the complete Vishnu Shakti, That's the Jiva Shakti.
Mm-hmm.
The Jiva Shakti. Yeah. Knowledge that one is one in quality, yet different in quantity. So the drop of water from the ocean has the same wetness, the qualities of wetness and saltiness that are found in the great body of water, the ocean, but it's not equal in quantity. And the other thing is, it's actually never out of the ocean. It's always connected, part of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see this change here from liberated to free. Let's have a look in here. Everything's reset because I upgraded my operating system today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. 5.3. Hopefully this isn't going to get some kind of copyright strike because of this music playing in the background. It would suck. Look, interestingly, nothing is mentioned in the 1983 changes. So this is a change that was done after 1983. Further changes that have been made. Okay, opening Srila Prabhupada's. Such a liberated person from all dualities.
Liberated is the word.
One who does not hate or desire in the matter of fruitive activities is known to be always a renouncer. Such liberated person from all dualities Such liberated person from all dualities do overcome the material bondage easily and is completely liberated.
From all dualities do become. Do overcome.
The material bondage easily and is completely liberated. It's interesting because it says such a liberated person is completely liberated. Maybe that's why they changed it, because such a person liberated from all dualities easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated. But it's like, if they have to be liberated, if they're already liberated from dualities and they become like, I can see why they might want to change that, but nobody gave you the mandate to do that. Being thus freed from the platform of dualities. Let's go back to the original here and look at the purport. Okay. One who is fully in Kṛṣṇa consciousness is always a renouncer, and it's interesting that don't make me yawn. is known to
11.
be a renouncer. So he already said renouncer there. He's always a renouncer
I
because
think it was D, no renounced.
Hmm?
Renounce.
it says is always a renouncer,
Okay.
just like here, like literally is always a renouncer.
Okay.
Because he has no hatred nor desire. He has neither hatred nor desire. He feels neither hatred nor desire, versus he has neither hatred nor desire for the result of the action. Such renouncer, dedicated in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, is fully qualified in knowledge because he knows well his constitutional position in relationship with Kṛṣṇa. He knows fully well that Kṛṣṇa is the whole, and he is the part and parcel of Kṛṣṇa. Such knowledge is perfect because such knowledge is qualitatively and quantitatively correct. To be one with Kṛṣṇa is not correct because part cannot be equal with the whole. To be one in quality and to be different in quantity is the correct type of transcendental knowledge. With correct conviction of knowledge, one is full in himself, and thus he has nothing to aspire and nothing to lament. He has no duality in his mind because whatever he does it for Kṛṣṇa. And being freed from the platform of dualities, he is always a liberated person, even in this material world. Wow.
I love how Srila Prabhupada writes.
It's powerful.
It is. Absolutely. I don't know how they change.
Yeah. Imagine if they published a Bhagavad-gita as it is, which is just Prabhupada's original, unedited. You know,
My.
it's kind of like if you wanted to do a Bhagavad-gita second edition that's closer to Prabhupada, just go all out. You know, bring this out. Incredible.
That would be actually like a really good service to Srila Prabhupada.
To bring out the Bhagavad-gita with just going back to
as
this.
it is, how he wrote, and probably few grammatical things.
No, not even. No, just exactly the way it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know what? When you're reading this, the way he writes is like it draws you into that.
As long as you don't get distracted by the idiom. I think for a person encountering it for the first time, they would just go, "This is weird," you know, the style. Once you're familiar with the content and the personality, then you're like, "Wow," you know, it's like unfiltered.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great. That would be a cool book, Bhagavad-gita as it is, unfiltered. It's interesting here how, you know, like the purport is what we were discussing, which is the correct understanding of the achintya beta abheda tattva. You know, the doctrine or the understanding of simultaneous inconceivable oneness and difference. How we are simultaneously one with Kṛṣṇa, one with Source, and at the same time distinct. Both of them are there at the same time. And then there's, you know, some more doctrine about the Shaktis that cause that separation or, you know, cover over. It's interesting that here this goes to that because, well, let's have a look at the should be known. This doesn't do the word for word differences.
No.
We can see in here is completely liberated. Okay. Well, let's have a look. Should be known he always, sannyāsī who, jñeyaḥ saha nitya-sannyāsī, yaha na dveṣṭi na kāṅkṣati nirdvandvaḥ, he mahā-bāho sukham bandhāt pramucyate. Jñeyaḥ is to be known, should be known, to be known. So it's like a passive voice. jñeyaḥ saha nitya-sannyāsī. Nitya-sannyāsī. Yo na dveṣṭi na kāṅkṣati. Samasaveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim lavate param. Na dveṣṭi na kāṅkṣati. What's that verse that has that? It has na dveṣṭi na kāṅkṣati. Samasaveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim lavate param.
No lo sé.
Okay. Let me just do a quick search in here.
Oh, okay. Oh, 17.
It's also here, but no, this looks like it's from the Bhagavatam. It's here in 1422. 1217. So in 1217 and 1422, kāṅkṣati 5:3 to 7, 5:3. So it is some nashocchati na kāṅkṣati. Nashocchati na kāṅkṣati na dveṣṭi. Bhagavad-gita 12:17. What is this? Nashocchati na kāṅkṣati sama. That's different from na dveṣṭi. But it's in here. Na dveṣṭi sampravrittani na nivrittani kāṅkṣati. This verse here is very similar. 14:22. One who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion when they're present, or long for them when they disappear. So one who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities, always renounced. Neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities. You know, it's like, I want the fruits of my activities, or I hate the fruits of my activities. Both of those constitute motivations for the character. And what they do is they have you go away from your duty. You know, because, for example, Duryodhana, you know, he wants the kingdom, so he's willing to transgress dharma, his duty, because he desires particular fruit of his activity.
Yeah.
If he has no desire or hatred of any particular outcome, then he's just like, oh, let's do the thing, you know, because the thing should be done.
Yeah. Even if the panda was asking, just give me one pin of a land.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, no, I will give you more. But they were just like so envious that they couldn't even give one pin size of a land.
Yeah, contemporary application.
What's something that you don't hate or you don't like? You just whatever.
Well, really what's describing here is this person who's always renounced is the person who does the thing because of doing the thing and not because of the result. It can be hard to tell because, you know, like, for example, we went down to Wellington and chanted in the Parliament protest, right? And people are like, oh, you're only doing that because you agree with the protesters. Now, they, of course, say that because they disagree with the protesters. And so to their mind, it's like, I'm not going to chant there because I disagree with these people. And so that they, you know, atmavan manyate jagat, they say, well, you're only doing it because you agree with them. It's hard to tell whether the person does or does not. It actually doesn't make any difference. One should do it either way. but you can't actually tell the internal consciousness of the person.
Of course. That's the biggie, but Kṛṣṇa knows all of that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I in the new Namras podcast that's coming out, I say, and it was in the preview that he posted, I said, you can chant in the pride parade or the pride protest,
Mm-hmm.
In the anti-vax, anti-mandate thing or the pro-vaccination thing. It doesn't matter. They should be chanting in all of them. And different people will be motivated, they might be motivated to chant in one or another. But I'm like, I'll chant in anything. I don't care.
Mm.
I might happen to agree with that, but that doesn't matter. I chant in something else that I don't agree with. I chanted in the pride parade.
Mm.
But, look, if people are there and they're favorable to the chanting, then, like, good on them. And I don't care what else it is that they're doing.
Mm.
They might be like, support Israel or free Palestine or whatever. I'll chant in both those things. People are favorable to the chanting, then Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Mm.
Am I always renounced in terms of everything all the time? No.
I bet.
But then Kṛṣṇa is very merciful, because I've noticed he sets it up in such a way. Because I remember I would desire to have something, and then I would get purified. Yeah, can't think of an example right now. See if there's any questions so far. Nothing? Okay. A couple of people watching. Thanks for your time and attention.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Feel free to leave a comment.
One left. Just what you were saying.
Okay. So let's have a look now at this translation. So we're on 5.3 now.
Let's see. Maori.
Te reo Māori, yeah. Let's continue with verse 5.3 from the Bhagavad-gita as it is by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, yeah. English text, 95% certainty. One who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person, free from all dualities, so second edition, because first edition says liberated from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated, O mighty armed Arjuna. Okay, we'll double check the translation with the Goog. A person who does not abhor and does not want the results of his actions is always known as a deserter.
Deserter. Someone like what? Likes a lot of desserts.
Abandoner.
Abandon.
Yeah. This person who is free from all obstacles easily frees the bonds of the natural world and frees them all. O Arjuna, who strengthens his hands.
That's an interesting translation.
Yeah. Here, desire. Mohyotiya. Vakariri, renounced. Abandoner. Okay, Maori, material or physical. Interesting. Or it said natural. Interesting, huh?
Maori means.
So te reo Maori means like the natural language. Maori means natural. Let's have a look. The natural world. So
What does ringa mean?
where is it?
The last one, the last letter.
Okay. Maori, native, common, hand. Okay, you want to read this because you got the.
Okay. Kote tangata ka ore e fakari.
This one here. Sorry, this here is not tangata. It's tangata.
Okay, kote tangata ka.
So actually, hang on. The vowel sounds are the same between Spanish and Maori, but it looks like Maori is similar to English in that multisyllabic words, so words with more than 2 syllables, polysyllabic, the stress goes on the first syllable instead of the second. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kote tangata kaore e whakariha riha. Kaore hoki e hia ki nagahua o ona mahi. Ka mo hio tia he tangata whakare e whakarere e na wa katoa. Ko tenei tangata kua wātea I nā tūraru kua katoa mama ana te whakawhatea e te here o te ao Māori. Ka whakawhatea katoa e Arjuna waka para riri ringa.
Interestingly, there's an article in the paper here the other day that said that in Taranaki they're going to use mita, I think it's called, which means like the Taranaki mita, the Taranaki dialect of Te Reo Māori.
Really?
Yeah, and one of the aspects of it is instead of using macrons like this, it uses this, like the double
A.
double vowel.
Yeah, double vowel. Naga. What's na?
Quick question.
Oh yeah, na.
Here we go. Look at this.
Wake me out when you're ready.
Polysyllabic.
What?
You know that in a verbal IQ test, ChatGPT-4 scored 155, and like sort of like a standard human IQ is meant to be 100.
Oh really?
Yeah. Last time I tested mine, it was 136.
Oh really? Oh, yeah. I'm 150.
For reals.
Yeah. Ventana es español.
I know, because I asked it to give the 3 languages to compare them.
Español, inglés, okay.
This is not correct. Photo, it's not photograph, it's photograph. Photograph. It's on the first syllable. Photography. Yeah. Photography. Yeah, photography.
But está hablando en inglés, mi amor.
I know.
Photography.
Yeah, photography. Spanish has more predictable rules for stressing syllables. If a word ends in a vowel, N or S, the stress typically falls on the penultimate, the second to last syllable. Ventana. Not ventana. It's ventana. If the word ends in any other consonant, the stress usually falls on the last syllable. Example, papel. Teléfono.
Mi muñequito de papel.
See here, there's a more simple rule that covers all of these 3 here. You know what that is?
¿Qué los 3 what?
You see these three rules.
Sí.
If a word ends in a vowel, N or S, the stress typically falls on the penultimate syllable. For example, ventana.
So penúltima sería second to last.
Yeah.
Okay.
If a word ends in any other consonant, the stress usually falls on the last syllable. Example, papel. Right? If there are exceptions to these rules, an accent mark is used to indicate where the stress falls. Example, teléfono. Right? But there's a very simple rule that would cover all of these. It falls on the second syllable. Ventana, papel, teléfono.
It's not papel, teléfono. It's teléfono.
Papel. Yeah, no, I'm
exaggerating.
Exactly, because you don't say teléfono.
Esposo.
And it's not teléfono. Esposo.
But when you are gringuito and you have accent, muchos gringuitos teléfono. Okay.
It says here, stress in Te Reo Māori typically falls on the first syllable of a word.
Mm.
In English, it doesn't have strict rules regarding stress patterns. However, it's like this. It typically falls on the first syllable of a word. Okay, so
longer words or loan words.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, I don't want to confuse this chat too much, so
it's language.
Yeah, let me ask this one. We'll see if it gives a different answer. Many two-syllable nouns have the first syllable stressed, while many two-syllable verbs have the second syllable stressed. Interesting. Ventana, joven. Okay, well here, joven, yes, the second to last. Or primero, yeah, which is also the second to last. If it ends in, okay, well, it's more complex than I thought. Okay, música.
La primera.
La primera, sí, música.
Teléfono.
Okay, so interesting. Give me examples of this rule in English. Any two-syllable nouns have the first syllable stressed. Record versus record. Wow. Epic.
Contract.
A contract versus contract. You know, I contracted the disease. Object versus object. Wow. Produce versus produce. Yep. Contest versus contest. Oh man, I never. These are crazy. Okay. Not only is it giving examples, but it's giving examples of words which are both a noun and a verb in English. Because it could have said, you know, contract is
because
a
this
noun.
is the same thing, isn't it? Object, object.
Yeah.
You know, object of like item, object of reducing, refusing.
Yeah, exactly. And here, produce versus produce. Did you notice this? I never noticed this in English.
Yeah.
Increase versus increase. Oh my goodness.
I did notice because you know why? It's like they're the same thing. Why they don't pronounce the same thing? It's like, oh, never mind. But they have different meaning.
But now you know when the stress is on the first syllable, that's a noun. And when you stress the second syllable, that's a verb. So record versus record. I bought a new record. Nobody buys records anymore.
I record your voice.
Yes, did. Record. Contract versus contract. Object versus object. Produce versus produce. Contest versus contest. Increase versus increase. Wow. Okay.
I think this is the way to learn English here.
As well, yeah. Now give me the stress rules, the Sanskrit.
But
Sanskrit, an ancient Indo-European language, has its own set of phonological rules regarding stress. In Sanskrit, stress is referred to as swara or udatta, meaning raised. Here's an overview of the stress system in classical Sanskrit. Vedic versus classical Sanskrit. It's worth distinguishing between Vedic and classical Sanskrit when discussing stress. Vedic Sanskrit, the language of the Vedas, has a pitch accent system, which means that the position of the accent is marked by a change in tone. In contrast, classical Sanskrit, which is the Sanskrit of most later texts and literature, does not emphasize this pitch accent in the same way. Fixed stress position. In classical Sanskrit, stress is generally not distinctive, meaning it doesn't serve to differentiate word meanings as it often does in English. The placement of stress is largely predictable. Final syllables are generally light and unstressed. penultimate, second to last syllables, if heavy, containing a long vowel or ending in a consonant, will typically receive stress. If the penultimate syllable is light, then the antepenultimate, third to last syllable might receive the stress if it's heavy. Mora-based system. Sanskrit stress is often described in terms of more, a single unit of syllable weight. Syllables can be either light, 1 mora, short vowels not followed by a consonant, heavy, 2 morae, long vowels or short vowels followed by a consonant. As mentioned above, heavy syllables generally attract stress more than light syllables. Compound words. In compound words, the first member of the compound generally retains its stress, which can sometimes lead to multiple stress syllables in a single word. Absence of stress marks. Sanskrit texts typically do not indicate stress with any specific diacritical marks. Stress is determined based on the phonological structure of the word and the rules mentioned. It's essential to consider that while these rules provide a general guideline, nuances and exceptions exist, especially when moving between Vedic and classical Sanskrit. Learning the rhythm and phonetics of Sanskrit from native speakers or knowledgeable teachers can be invaluable in mastering its stress patterns. Okay, obvious next question.
Come on.
What?
It's 11:47.
What Sanskrit is Bhagavad-gita written in? Classical? Yeah. Classical Sanskrit. Okay. Give me Ehinosmin 212. Here we go. Dehinosmin yata dehe komadam yovanam jara. Oh no, natveva hamjatu. I did is that 213?
Oh, shame.
Natvevaham jatu nasham natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva nabhavishyama sarve vayamata param. Natvevaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva nabhavishyama nachaiva nabhavishyama sarve vayamata param. Okay. Now do 213. The only difference there is I was doing nachaiva nabhavishyama nachaiva nabhavishyama. One more. Now do 213. Yeah, dehinosmin yata dehe. Dehinosmin yata dehe komaram yovanam jara tha dehantara prapti dhiras tatra namuyate. Okay, so I was doing it differently. I was doing tata dehantara praptir instead of tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyate. Okay, what about last one? Indo-European. Like in Sanskrit. Wait, okay, stress placement. 2 syllables on the first, 3 or more, penultimate.
Amor. People will lose interest.
I'm not losing interest. I'm doing it for me. There's one person out there who's like, damn, this is what I was looking for. There's no one watching it right now, though. But that's also because it's 11:51 on a Friday night. This is what I like to do on a Friday night. I have to say, honey, that ChatGPT is like literally the greatest thing ever so far in this Leela. I'm loving it. Okay. Back to the text. Yeah. Do 5-3. Jñeyaḥ nitya-sannyāsī yo na dveṣṭi na kāṅkṣati nirdvandvo hi mahā-bāho sukham bandhāt pramucyate nirdvandvo hi mahā. I don't know, I want to land on the ha. Nirdvandvo hi mahā-bāho sukham bandhāt pramucyate.
I thought the way it goes on the ma.
How would that work? Jñeyaḥ nitya-sannyāsī. I want to land on the sun. Na dveṣṭi na jñeyaḥ nitya-sannyāsī yo na dveṣṭi na kāṅkṣati nirdvandvo hi mahā-bāho sukham bandhāt pramucyate. I wanted to land there. This is jñeyaḥ nitya-sannyāsī yo na dveṣṭi na kāṅkṣati nirdvandvo hi mahā-bāho sukham bandhāt pramucyate. Anywho, one who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person, liberated from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated, O mighty armed Arjuna. How's the sweet rice? Does it taste burnt?
Smoky, baby.
Smoky. Okay. Burnt sweet rice tonight for dessert. I can smell the burnt. It's burnt as anything. It's really burnt. Yeah.
It's smoked tonight.
Smoked. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your time and attention. For anyone who's made it all the way to the end of the 47th minute of this class. Parambi Jayate, Sri Kṛṣṇa Sankirtanam.
Jai Shila Prabhupada.
Total world victory of Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that went
Oh, hang on, there are 5 comments.
Oh, no.
Oh, the music is a bit distracting. There's this new age idea that we are the universe experiencing itself. This is the bona fide concept from where that came from. Yep. Need to go. Thank you. To be fair, we did agree. Okay.
What?
Not sure what that is.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Yeah, I was on the wrong tab. That's why I didn't see the comments.
Inteligente.
Yeah. Anyway. Thanks for tuning in, Ian. Thanks for commenting, Ian and Michael. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Michael.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.